Good morning and welcome back. There is something so grounding about starting the day slowly, with intention, with a little warmth, and with just a few simple rituals that set the tone for everything that follows. Today was one of those days, the kind where the to do list actually gets done, the kitchen smells amazing by afternoon, and the home just feels reset. And that is exactly where I started the day, with a quick reset of the refrigerator, especially the vegetable boxes. Before the fresh groceries go in and before the cooking starts, I just wiped down the shelves, emptied out the vegetable box completely, and gave it a little tidy up. And suddenly, everything felt so much more purposeful. It takes maybe 10 minutes, but honestly, it changes the whole energy of the day. So come, let's start the morning together. I always love getting the grocery run out of the way first thing at the start of the week, before the busyness of the week starts. And I always make it a point to put everything straight back in its place as soon as I am home. Because once the day picks up and work starts pulling you in different directions, it just never gets done the same way. I know that you feel all alone. Today I picked up the usual fresh fruits and vegetables, a few everyday essentials, some dry fruits, and unsalted butter because I had completely run out of ghee for puja. Only want what's best for you. And then came one of my favorite quiet little rituals, just putting everything back where it belongs. Refilling the pantry jars, checking what needs to go into the fridge, doing a quick little scan of the pantry. Today, the quinoa jar got a fresh refill, and honestly, a neatly stacked pantry shelf is always so satisfying. Now, this is something I have learned over time. There are certain things, once you open them, you really do need to finish them. These date bites I picked up today are very similar to our homemade dry fruit laddus. So instead of tucking them away in a cupboard and completely forgetting about them, I just placed them on a little cake stand and set it on the dining table. Keeping things like this in sight, whether it's fresh fruit or something that needs to be finished first, makes such a difference. And by evening, the cake stand was empty and all the date bites were gone. Sometimes the simplest little tricks are the best ones for managing your groceries and reducing waste. Last night I had soaked some green moong dal and brown chana, and before getting started with any of the cooking, the first thing I did was transfer them into the sprout maker. That is really all you need to do. Just pop them in, place it somewhere warm, and leave it alone. I cannot tell you how much I love this little sprout maker. It has honestly made sprouting so effortless. No fussing, no checking, no complicated steps. Within 2 days, you have the most beautiful, healthy sprouts ready to go. If you have been thinking about making sprouts at home and keep putting it off, it really could not be simpler. Another great Amazon finds. I pull into your driveway, it's a Saturday night. You look like $1,000,000 wearing that dress I like. You're smiling, but there's something missing. Now on to the vegetables, and I have to tell you about today's little win at the grocery shop. We usually only find ladyfinger or bhindi at Asian store or Indian store, so I was genuinely so excited to spot them at the regular shop and picked up 4 packets. Relax, all your problems will fade if you're ready But because it has been so warm lately, by the time I started with the kitchen, the vegetables already had quite a significant moisture buildup in the plastic covers. And for vegetables in summer, that is the fastest way to lose them. So I transferred them straight into containers lined with paper towels, which will help in absorbing the excess moisture and keep them fresh for 7 to 10 days. The ones I'm planning to cook this evening, I just gave them a good wash and set them out to dry completely before they go into the fridge. And then all I had to do was stack everything neatly in the fridge, and this part of the prep is completely done. Small simple steps, but they really do make all the difference.
You're the rose in a garden, and it shows if I'm honest. You're the leaves in mid-August, and I've come out here to say.
And the ghee was done. Once it had cooled, I poured it into the container. Now, while things are still calm and the morning has that lovely, unhurried feeling, I like to take care of a few more small things that are so easy to overlook but make such a difference to how smoothly the day runs. One of them is making sure the puja essentials are all topped up and ready. Since doing puja is part of our daily routine, I find that having everything organized and easy to reach just makes the whole ritual feel so much more peaceful, rather than rummaging through the drawers or moving things around in the mandir to find what you need. Now, this little box is one of my favorite finds. It is actually a wooden tea bag organizer, but I use it to store all the daily puja essentials. The compartments are just the perfect size and depth. The incense cones, diyas, camphor, everything has its own little spot. I just gave it a quick refill of whatever was running low and it's done. Keeping the Monday drawer clutter free and having a dedicated little organizer like this means you always know exactly what you have, everything is within easy reach, and the ritual itself stays exactly what it should be: calm, intentional, and unrushed. A small thing, but it really does set such a beautiful tone for the day.
What if your sweetness could reach everyone? There'd be no wars. Maybe the birds will sing about your heart. Maybe the trees will whisper the word. Maybe the
Back in the kitchen now, and into the heart of the prep work for the week. One thing I had been meaning to get to was this big block of tamarind. I'm planning to make a tamarind chutney premix, and the first step is getting it properly dried. With the warm weather we have been having lately, it felt like the perfect opportunity. So I just cut the blocks into small cubes, place them into this bamboo basket, and set them outside to let the sun do its work.
standing on a field with you and flowers everywhere.
I'll be sharing the full recipe in an upcoming video, but first it needs to dry up.
I would be up waiting for you if you had to leave. I would wait a lifetime if you were at sea.
And now the washing begins. This is really the backbone of my weekly meal prep. Getting the vegetables washed and ready on one day means the rest of the week just takes care of itself. When the prep is done, the vegetables are clean, the lentils are soaked, the little things are sorted. Cooking on any given day becomes so much more quicker and so much less overwhelming.
I just wanna hold you for forever. Every day you're making me better. 'Cause a love like this is rare. And I wanna take you there.
Next up, one of my absolute favorites. an instant green chili achar, and I'm making it in the air fryer today. I started by washing the green chilies really well and drying them completely. This step is important so no moisture is left. Now for the cut, I like to do a mix. Some I leave whole and some I just slit gently down the middle with a knife. You can keep them all whole or slit them all, entirely up to you and how you like your pickle. Then simply season them: mustard oil, turmeric and red chili powder, coriander powder, and salt. Give everything a really good mix so every chili is nicely coated and well marinated. And then just leave it aside for 4 to 5 minutes to let those flavors settle in. Once they're ready, transfer them into the air fryer basket and air fry for 10 minutes at 180 degrees Celsius. Do give them a quick flip halfway through, and I also like to add a little scattering of mustard seeds on top. It just adds that lovely classic pickle flavor. And that is it. Your instant green chili achar is done. Quick, simple, and absolutely delicious. And now we move into my favorite part of the day, the lunch prep. Today I am making something really special. A dish that has always been a childhood favorite, an absolute must have in our home, and honestly, one of the most nourishing things you can put together. The best part, you can make it with whatever vegetables you have on hand. I also cut the brinjal into small rounds, setting it aside to fry up a little later. In the meantime, the instant green chili achar was almost ready. I gave it a good stir and popped it back in the air fryer for just another 2 minutes. Nearly there. So today's lunch is a beautiful Bengali dish called panch tarkari, and if you haven't heard of it, panch simply means 5 and tarkari means vegetables. So as the name suggests, it is traditionally made with 5 different vegetables all cooked together, and what I love about it is that there are no fixed rules. You can work with what you have. The classic must-haves for panch tarkari are pumpkin, brinjal, drumstick. Drumstick is really the heart of this dish, but today I'm working with what I have. So I cut long slices of zucchini, brinjal, beans, cauliflower, aloo, and squash, which perfectly substitutes pumpkin. What makes panch tarkari so special is its simplicity. It is made with very few spices, no heavy masalas, just clean, honest flavors that let the vegetables shine. Now, when you're cooking Bengali cuisine, one spice blend you will come back to again and again is bhaja masala. Bengali cooking does not typically use garam masala for all the recipes. Instead, this beautiful dry roasted blends does all the work. Today I have taken 3 whole red chilies, 2 small cinnamon sticks, 2 tablespoons of cumin, 2 tablespoons of whole coriander, and 6 to 7 whole cardamom. Dry roasted them together until fragrant, and I'll cool it completely before grinding them into a fresh spice blend. In the same karai, I added mustard oil because in Bengali cooking, mustard oil is everything. Once it's hot, in goes the panch foron for tempering. That wonderful signature whole spice mix of kalonji, fenugreek, fennel, mustard, and cumin seeds. The moment it hits the oil, that beautiful aroma fills the kitchen, and with it, all those warm memories of my mother's kitchen come flooding back. Then in went the long sliced potatoes first, sauteed for a few minutes, then all the remaining vegetables went in together. A good pinch of salt, And I cooked it for 4 to 5 minutes on medium heat with the lid on, letting everything turn slightly soft and soak up all that lovely mustard oil and panch foran. Next, I added the freshly ground ginger, and this is what gives the dish that beautiful warmth and depth. Along with that, turmeric powder, Kashmiri red chili powder for that gorgeous color, and a few whole green chilies. Give everything a really good mix so all those flavors get to know each other. Next, I added 2 small chopped tomatoes along with splash of water to bring it all together. Final good stir, and I finished it off with a handful of fresh spinach leaves on top. Now that's the beauty of this sabji. You truly can add any vegetables you have on hand and it always works.
But I know I have to try to let her go because she won't be mine.
And while that was getting ready, I quickly grounded the cooled bhaja masala into a fine, fresh spice powder, transferred it into the spice jar, and labeled it. Freshly made, fragrant, and ready to bring that authentic Bengali flavor to many more meals to come. If you're enjoying homemaking content like this, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It will mean a lot.
She'll never know. It's like she stole my heart without no.
And finally, the wholesome, hearty panch tarkari is nearly ready. Just a drizzle of ghee on top, a generous pinch of freshly ground bhaja masala, and 1 tablespoon of sugar is a must. Because no matter what you are making in a Bengali kitchen, that little spoonful of sugar is non negotiable. It just balances every single flavor beautifully.
But I have to try as hard as I can. Cause she'll never be mine. There's a way.
And alongside the panch tarkari I was putting together next was the most comforting and one pot meal, a Bengali moong dal khichuri, one dish that feels like a warm hug on a plate. To make the khichdi, the first and the most important step is dry roasting the moong dal. This is how it is traditionally done, and it makes such a difference to the flavor. For the rice, I have always seen my mom using a simple 1:1 ratio, so 1 cup of dal to 1 cup of rice. Today I have gone with 1 and a quarter cup of rice, and the dal and rice went in together to soak while we get everything else ready. Now into the pot goes mustard oil, big generous chunks of cauliflower and potato, gently sauteed until they get a lovely light color on the outside. Then in goes the tempering, bay leaf, whole red chili, panch foron, and freshly ground ginger. Let all that come together beautifully for a minute or two. Then in went the tomatoes, a little salt, a splash of water, lid on, and we let the tomatoes soften nicely. Next the spices, just turmeric and red chili powder, keeping it simple and clean. A little splash of water, and we let the masala cook down until the oil starts to come away from the sides. Next in goes the soaked rice and dal along with some frozen peas, fried potato and cauliflower. Fill it up with hot water, roughly double the amount of rice, and remember, Bengali khichdi should always have this slightly loose and runny consistency, so do keep a little extra hot water on side to top up as needed.
This morning has a clear light as any to see the horizon and the phone. Excuses were two for a penny.
Next, I topped it up with 1 tablespoon of the freshly grounded bhaja masala, and now we just let it cook low and slow until the rice is perfectly soft and everything has melted together into that gorgeous, comforting khichdi we just love. While the khichdi was getting ready, I quickly marinated the begun circles and some thinly sliced potato circles with little turmeric and salt, as simple as that. My son is absolutely obsessed with aloo bhaja, so this one was non-negotiable today. Traditionally, these are deep fried, and I went the traditional route today. Shallow to deep fried one by one until perfectly golden. You can always try air fry them if you prefer, but honestly, some days only the real thing works. And just like that, the khichdi was ready too. I finished it with a generous drizzle of ghee, some finely chopped fresh coriander, which is completely optional, and a pinch of bhaja masala. And there it was, our hearty, wholesome Bengali meal all coming together beautifully. And now the best part, plating up. The khichdi, the panch tarkari, the begun bhaja and aloo bhaja, and that instant green chilli achar we made this morning. There is something so deeply comforting about a meal like this. Simple, wholesome, and made entirely from scratch. This is the kind of cooking that feeds not just the body but the soul. I really hope you enjoyed spending this morning and afternoon with me, and this gave you a little inspiration for your own week ahead. If you enjoyed the video, please like, comment, and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next one. Till then, take care. Bye bye. Happy homemaking.